What's going on, guys? Killer6 back with another Borderlands top 10 video, and this time we're taking a look at the top 10 best early game legendary weapons in Borderlands 3. These are items that you can get before level 20 in a playthrough that will carry you for a considerable chunk of the game. So with that, let's get started.
Number 10.
Getting us started, number 10 is the Nighthawk, and this dull SMG is one of the easiest legendary items to get early on in the game, and it's also one of the best. Burst fire is the preferred option on this gun since it allows you to shoot without a burst delay, allowing you to get some crazy damage output. That said, a full auto version will wreck really hard in early levels as well. This gun also gives you a very early cryo option, as during daylight hours in game time, the gun does cryo damage, and at nighttime it does fire damage. The Nighthawk is dropped by the demo Skaggins in the droughts, and you can farm it immediately when you first enter that area at level 2, but you might want to wait and fight them at about level 7 or so.
Number 9.
At number 9 is a gun that I'm going to bet that some of you guys didn't even know was in the game, the Masterworks crossbow. This sniper shoots out a single arrow shot before needing reloaded, but that single shot is very strong for early game, powerful enough to one-shot most enemies for several levels beyond the weapons level. The trick to using the sniper is to treat it like a shotgun and to get mid to close range on enemies and aim for their crit spot. But since this thing shoots out arrows, there's moderate drop-off on the projectiles, so you have to account for that with your shots as well. But it's very satisfying deleting enemies with this gun once you get the hang of it. The Masterworks crossbow can be farmed from Ulrist Enforcer on the Promethea map Lectra City.
Number 8.
Coming in at number 8 is the linoge. In true linoge fashion, this gun has followed me to this list, but in all honesty, the linoge is an excellent normal mode weapon, capable of spawning in incendiary and corrosive elements at an early level. This gives you a powerful pistol that will last you for a good 10 to 15 levels in normal mode. You can also get lucky and get one that spawns with the 120% melee damage bonus, which means you can pretty much one-tap melee most enemies below level 20 as well. You can get the linoge from Lavender Crawley or any of its spawns as low as level 9 in the droughts on Pandora.
Number 7.
Coming in at number 7 is one of my favorite assault rifles in Borderlands 3, the Star Helix. This gun can spawn in non-elemental, shock, cryo, or radiation and be obtained just before level 20, so just squeezing into this spot on the list. This gun shoots out one bullet straight ahead, right where you aim it, but it also has two other bullets that oscillate out and then back in along that flight path. Hitting all three of these projectiles equals big damage, so ideally you want to find that ideal range, or treat this gun like it's a shotgun and get right up in people's faces to make sure that all your projectiles hit. But regardless, those projectiles don't stray too far from that middle bullet path, so even from moderate range, this gun tends to shred pretty well. You can get the Star Helix from the Power Troopers at Atlas HQ on Promethea, and it will drop only from the yellow, black, or red trooper.
Number 6.
At number 6 on this list is the Krakatoa. This Malawan sniper is one of the most powerful guns you can get early on, dropping from Tumor Head in the underground area of Lectra City on Promethea at the end of the Proof of Wife side quest. The only downside, in my opinion, to the Krakatoa is that it's locked to fire element only. But below level 20, it's not even going to really matter that this gun is locked to fire because it's going to eliminate everything with ease. Just be careful of the volcanoes that spawn where it hits enemies, since those will wreck you just as quickly as they will your enemies.
Number 5.
Coming in at number 5 is the Hail. This dull assault rifle was an absolute joke in Borderlands 3 for quite a while, but a recent buff to it and another weapon coming up later in this list has propelled it into the conversation as one of the best all-around assault rifles in the game. The Hail shoots in a sort of arcing pattern, going slightly upward and then dropping down, and once you get the hang of this pattern, you will absolutely destroy enemies with this gun. This gun can be non-elemental or spawn in any of the elements, making it a great pick for any situation. It also heals you as you do damage, making it great for survivability in any situation as well. To get the Hail, simply tip Moxie when you first arrive in Sanctuary, and she will eventually mail you either this gun or another Moxie weapon, which we'll talk about here in just a bit.
Number 4.
Sliding into the list just above the Hail is the One Pump Chump, and I friggin' love this gun for early game in Borderlands 3. One of the most satisfying weapons that you can possibly ever use in this game, the One Pump just obliterates enemies when you hit crits, and it doesn't care how far away you are. Even though this is a shotgun, you can use this thing like a sniper rifle from long range. It is that good. This thing features one of the highest damage stats of any weapon that isn't a rocket launcher or sniper rifle. The One Pump also has a a 50% chance to not consume ammo, allowing you to, on occasion, shoot it repeatedly as fast as you can pull the trigger. Also, since it's a Jacob shotgun, those critical hits will ricochet and hit other enemies nearby as well. You can farm the one pump chomp from One Punch in the underground of Lectra City on Promethea.
Number 3.
Speaking of One Punch and Lectra City, his other drop is the Sleeping Giant, and this SMG just absolutely shreds. If you've seen my SMG Amara playthrough, then you probably saw me melt Kilovolt in a split second with this gun. Basically, the Sleeping Giant has multiple perks, including 100% gun damage, 145% gun damage, increased reload speed, increased fire rate, increased accuracy, and increased handling. But that's not all. You have a 33% chance on reload to roll all of those buffs at once, making this gun a laser beam of death. I absolutely love this gun, and I feel like it's not well enough known or respected in the community. Hopefully this video will change that.
Number 2.
Coming in at number 2 is the Trevinator, and I've gone on and on about why I love this gun and the backstory on how it got made, so I'll just say if you want to know more about that, then watch my item guide on this gun. It is definitely worth the watch. It's a great story and it needs to be known. But I will say this, the Trevinator got a huge buff and is now extremely powerful. You can get this gun in any element, and it will always have 2 elemental options that you can switch between like most Malawan weapons do. The splash damage that this gun puts out makes it exceptional for mobbing and for bosses, and frankly, once you get this gun, you're not going to want to swap to anything else for quite some time. A good Trevinator will most likely last you 10 to 15 levels in normal mode. To get this gun, pick up the Invasion of Privacy mission from Ava and Sanctuary at or around level 18. At the end of that mission, you get to fight and kill one of my favorite villains in all of Borderlands history, Private Beans, and he can drop the Trevinator, the Wester gun, and or the front loader shield. He respawns after you complete and turn in the mission, so you can go back and farm as many Trevinators in as many elements as you want.
Honorable mention.
For the honorable mention on this video, I want to acknowledge the DLC gear that you can technically get starting at level 13, especially the arms race gear. The Tizzy, Plasma Coil, Dark Army, Trick Shot, all the rest, they're all extremely strong, especially if you get them early on. But since not everybody has DLC, I'm going to leave all of the DLC legendaries as a honorable mention for this video.
Number 1.
Finally, coming in at number 1 is the crit, and that's probably not going to surprise anybody at all, but you can get this SMG from Moxie upon reaching Sanctuary 3 for the first time, and honestly, you can probably use that low-level version all the way to the final boss. It's that good right now. Plus, it heals you as you do damage, making it extremely useful for utility as well. The downside to the crit and the aforementioned hail is that you need money, and usually a lot of it, to get these from Moxie, so getting them early is a bit tricky. But farm up some of the other bosses that I mentioned on this list and collect money and gear, and then sell that to help out with the cost. The crit is only available in Shock, and you have to pay close attention when using it because, as the red text says, it is slippery when wet, and you will occasionally drop this gun while reloading, adding to the risk reward of this weapon. Even with the downsides though, this gun is insanely good and ridiculously strong. It is well worth spending that tip money on this. I hope you guys enjoyed this top 10 list of the best early game legendary weapons in Borderlands 3. If you did, then make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for more, and let me know down in the comment section below what is your favorite early game weapon and why. Thank you guys for watching. Take care.